Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final game of the week in the NRL. Predictions have been going well. Almost perfect. But if you guys have your own predictions, let me know in the live stream chat. There's also a poll in the stream chat as well. 11 votes so far. 55% say the Raiders will win. 45% say the Roosters. Slight change with the Raiders, but a big one. Fogarty is no longer in the side, and Sanders will step into the number 7 role. So we'll see how he adjusts today. So looking at Savage and Weeks to really control things, to set the tempo, to create opportunity still. But we'll see what Sanders can do in Fogarty's absence. So we will see. If you've got your own predictions, let me know. I think the battle through the middle will be really exciting, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I would have loved to have seen Matty Nicholson versus Angus Crichton today, because that would have been a great look at a possible England versus Australia matchup, because I think Matty Nicholson was on his way to being a shoo-in for the England squad. So we'll have to see. Maybe later in the season they'll meet, but we will see. If anyone has Discord, by the way, there is a Kinetic Rugby League Discord that you can join. The invite link is in the description. As well as my TikTok, there will be a stream highlights video of this stream and the game posted onto TikTok later today. So follow me over there. And I'll go through some of the notes, the team list and the notes that I had. So going through the team list, first I'll do one more run through before we get started. But currently the team lists are Tedesco, Tupou, Billy Smith, Toya, Nwanganitawaze, Sandon Smith and Savala in the backs for the Roosters. In the forwards they have Collins. I don't have a clue how to pronounce his name. Is it as simple as Ayuelu? Probably Ayuelu. If I had to guess, Ayuelu. Okay, I'm going with that. Foketi, Crichton, Wong and Radley finish out the forwards. There we go. Nailed it. On the bench, Watson, Lenu, Steep and Butcher. And King is the 18th man. For the Raiders, in the backs they have Weeks, Tamale, Timoko, Chris, Savage, Strange and Sanders filling in for Fogarty at number 7. In the forwards they have Horsburgh, Danny Levy at number 9, who we've not seen for a little while, Tarpany, Hudson Young, Hosking and Smithies to round out the forwards. On the bench is Patty, Sasangi, Papali'i and Mariotta for the Raiders, and Martin is the 18th man. I went with the Raiders to win by 1 point. I went with 30-31 to the Raiders. Because I'm scared to go against the Roosters at the moment. But I picked the Raiders. Got to stick with him. So to go through the notes that I had for this game. Also with predictions, by the way. I was correct with the Dragons. Correct with the Storm. Correct with the Cowboys. Correct with the Rabbitohs and the Panthers. Sorry, the Warriors and the Panthers. I initially had the Seagulls to win. Initially. And then when I saw that Jason Saab was not available, I switched it. Like an idiot, I switched it. So I could have been on 6 out of 6 going into this. Morning, Finn. Good to see you. We have one of the regulars. Cumbrian Mackem. One of those. Roosters win for me. I think there's a good Roosters side in there. Just lacking a bit of consistency. But they can... I think on their day, I think they can beat almost anybody. So I was scared to go against him. But to go through the notes that I had for this matchup. So, basically word for word what I said in the predictions video. Although I did predict the Roosters to lose last week, I was very clear in my notes that I thought they could get the win in that game versus the Sharks. So I do actually feel slightly vindicated, weirdly. Now both sides are on really solid form at the moment, playing through some tough teams as well. The Roosters will have their origin players coming back this week, which includes Crichton, Watson, Collins, Toya and Lenu. And until we see how the game goes, and that was at the time, this was before game 1, Robert Toyer could be coming back into this game with a massive boost of confidence. Because if he kills it in game 1, he's got nothing to worry about in the league, because if he can handle Origin, he can handle anything. And I think he handled himself pretty well in game 1. He looked very stable, comfortable defensively, comfortable offensively. I think Robert Toyer will gain a lot of confidence from State of Origin, and will bring that into this game and continue to grow. So fair play to him. The Raiders, they'll be without Tom Starling, which is a tough loss, but Owen Patty starts this week, but he's now onto the bench again. This was pre-Origin, by the way. So there's a chance, or at least now for Levy, that the likes of Horsburgh and Tarpany can set a platform, get quick play the balls and offloads for him. But that's going to be tough to do against the Roosters forward pack that looks as strong as it has done all year. Now, I think players like Savala, Toya and Nwanganitawaze, they've especially been really important additions for the Roosters this season. But I can't look past Weeks, Strange and Fogarty. Now have to take Fogarty out of the equation in the way that they can produce tries from anywhere and control games. So I think there's a little bit less control with Fogarty not being there. So it is going to be a tough one. And no Starling as well. I think this is looking like a Roosters win. But I've already backed the Raiders. I didn't put a comment in my predictions video in the pinned comments that I was going to change it. So I'm stuck with it. What did you think about the FC game last night? Will Price had his best game since signing. I've not seen it back yet, Finn, so I don't know. I've not seen it yet. Is Matty Nicholson injured? Yes, he is. He's another... Actually, let me get the injury list. So it's round 13 currently. Nicholson should be back round 22. So he'll get hopefully a good run in the back end of the season going into finals as well. Again, if you guys have your own predictions, let me know in the live stream chat. Also vote on the poll that's in there. 60% say Roosters. I think that's changed since seeing the lineups. We've got about 8 minutes to go as well. Just less than 8 minutes. State of Origin Game 1 was good, wasn't it? That was good. I'm going to look at the date for Game 2 because I know I'm going to be streaming that one. Wednesday the 18th of June. Okay. Two and a half weeks. Okay. Okay. Hopefully back in for the Ashes. I could see it being him and Nsemba. That's kind of my hope at the moment. Streaming the Cup final next week? Yes, Finn. I will be. I would have loved to have gone, but I think I've already mentioned with you in here before, just the money. But yeah, it should be a good one. I will be watching it on stream. So for any Aussies here, or anyone that watches the Challenge Cup from overseas, I'll be streaming during the Challenge Cup final next week. Warrington Wolves versus Hull Kingston Rovers. Feel free to stop by. 6 minutes to go. I also backed Mark Nwanganitawaze to get a try. I'm just thinking, actually, is there a chance? And I think there is. He's 24. Right. I was Googling Mark Nwanganitawaze. He's younger than me. He looks older than me. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Is there a chance that Mark Nwanganitawaze makes the Ashes squad for Australia? I think there is. I think there is a legitimate chance that Nwanganitawaze makes it. If he was in there, like if I was part of the staff for Australia, the head coach, and he was picked for me, I wouldn't be upset. What do you think to the wire game? You lot definitely made it more difficult towards the end. Yeah, I think we just kind of switched off, to be honest. less effort offensively, kind of switching off defensively. I don't want it to become a habit. I'm still felt that we had full control over the game. So I'm not too worried. I know that we wouldn't switch off like that in a Challenge Cup final. It doesn't bother me too much. I'm just glad that we saw a bit of control. Some decent attacking movement. Some defensive resilience. And we'll have hopefully some more options back next week as well. Especially Williams. I just let people know that if you'd like to become a member of the channel, you can do for as little as £1 a month, which is around $2 Australian, just by clicking the join button below the stream. Good morning, evening all. Saint to Jester, good to see you again. Always nice when the regulars come back in. Always nice. My predictions have actually been pretty good in both Super League and NRL, and I got 6 out of 6 in Super League this week. It's been 13 rounds, and it's the first time I've got 6 out of 6. But it's happened. Marvellous. Marvellous. We're about 3 minutes away from what could be the game of the round. Let's have a look at the scores so far this week in the NRL. We had 20-6 in favour of the Dragons. That was an awful game. Storm vs Titans looked relatively straightforward and a little bit of a challenge in there from Gold Coast. Cowboys vs West Tigers, so far game of the round. I need to watch back as much of Warriors and Rabbitohs as I can. That was close as well. So some decent games. But I did tip this one to be the game of the round. Won't be on much today. Work is dragging my soul back into its depths. Have fun all. Well, thanks for stopping by anyway. Have a swell time at work, Kieran. Just an absolutely swell time. Oh, Kieran. He's only gone and done it. That's a trumpet. That's a trumpet if I've ever seen one. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much indeed. I actually need to go through all the clubs and make sure that everyone's sent everything off for the charity stream, which was like nearly 2 months ago. Like, even a week or two ago, people would complain about not getting stuff. So, yeah, some clubs were very, very slow on sorting everything out. So, yeah, hopefully that's all done. Because I'd like to actually start prepping for KRL 2, for the next charity stuff. But I don't want to announce it if everything hasn't been sent off. Because people could be like, well, why are you starting another one when I've not even got my stuff? Like, I don't want that to happen. Players are coming out, folks. So we'll be underway very shortly. Few seconds left on this poll. 28 votes, 61% say the Roosters. I think Roosters have probably got it based on squad availability. But we will see how Sanders gets on. I think Danny Levy will do fine in the number 9 role, but Sanders will be the interesting one. Most tackle busts this season, Savelio Tamale, 84. Leading the pack, Tedesco, second, with 83. Right, I'm going to end this poll. Moments away. Also, 10 subscribers away from 8,100. Very close. The Roosters are on their way out. The Chucks. Go Roosters. I think this could be their game. I think given the changes for the Raiders, also the Roosters, they've been a tricky team this year to predict. And they've upset a couple teams. So I think the Roosters could be on for 2 points here. Actually, can I get the ladder up real quick? Roosters are only 12th as well. That's weird. 12 points. They would move up to 7th, possibly. Points difference. Not sure. They might move up a little bit. But we are underway for the final game of the week. Roosters versus Raiders. Please be a good one. That'll be a good one for you. Roosters on their own 10. It's going to be Tupou. Why does everyone look like giants from this? Okay, anyway. Next carry. Over the 20. I might get some of the names wrong because they've made some slight adjustments to the usual guys. I think that's Feketi. Radley with a carry through the middle up towards the 40 already. Now the fourth tackle. Angus Crichton down the left-hand side. He's going to get slammed into the ground. And that's going to be Savala on the last with a kick towards the back left. KO Weeks underneath it, takes it cleanly on his own 10. And returns it up to the 20. Getting dragged back a few metres. There's been a fair few complaints about Sandon Smith, who was involved in that tackle. I think when Walker comes back, I think a lot of Roosters fans want Savala to stay. Maybe some people think differently. I think Savala has done a decent job since coming in. Well, the Raiders up towards their own 30. Third tackle now. Tamale. Completely different player and a different team. Horsburgh through the middle. Over the 40. 3 defenders in the tackle. Now the last. Danny Levy on his right to Ethan Strange. He's going to kick from behind halfway. Towards the back right. Tupou underneath it. Takes it cleanly. The veteran. Takes it over the 20. Push back a little bit. By a few Raiders defenders. He's going to play it for Sandon Smith. Now with Butcher in centre field. Could have been a dodgy play of the ball, but Mark Nwanga eventually got there. Mark Nwanga with the next carry. Radley with the next hit up through centre field. On the left now. Do you know what? I'm going to get the team list up so I can make sure I got the right players here with the numbers. But a kick towards the back left and Weeks recovers it. And he's brought down on his own 10. So the Roosters could really pin them back here. Savage making a few metres on the next carry. Just got to be disciplined, the Roosters. Timoko over the 20. Now with Sebastian Kris down the left-hand side. He was having a really good start to the season. I think he's been slightly quiet over the last few weeks, but he's overall having a good season so far. The plays for Levy. And Strange will kick from behind the 40 on the last. Plenty of height and distance. And miscommunication with Tupou and Tedesco. It's going to bounce at least once, but nothing crazy happening off the back of it. So the Roosters will start this fresh set 25 metres out in front of their own line. Shifting the ball over to the right with Nwanga. Trying to get around the outside of Kris. He does. Can he get the ball off? He can to Robert Toyer. Skips towards the inside. Eventually wraps up on halfway. Robert Toyer on the back of an Origin debut, as they say over there. And Nwanga, who have tipped to score a try today. Down the short side right, Tedesco. Nearly sort of just finding it easy making those metres then. Up towards the 30 inside Raiders territory. Best field position of the game so far, 4 minutes in. Crichton on his left to Butcher. He's got 2 ponies outside. He flicks it back towards him. Radley at dummy half, about 13 metres out. On the 4th, they go short side left. Angus Crichton trying to skip around the outside. Offloads the ball to Radley. He stopped a metre short of the line. So back towards the middle with Sandon Smith. He's going to kick crossfield. Nwanga is up, brings it down, plants it on the ground beautifully. I tipped him to score a try. And he's got it. Again, as I said before the stream, or before the game started, if he was picked for Australia in the Ashes, I'd say fair play. He has been solid this year. Above solid. That's 4-0 for the Roosters. The height, the leap, like a salmon from the river. Oh no, the grounding. I initially thought he grounded it. I thought it was fine initially. Oh, okay. Excuse me for talking shit. Let's remove that 4 point, shall we? Excuse me for just completely lying about that. That's no good. Wait. Sorry, I'm being a complete idiot right now. I'm being a complete idiot. Are they waiting to confirm this? I do apologise, folks. It was given. Now the try is confirmed. Okay. It looked like it was a knock-on for a second, but the try is confirmed. Apologies for any confusion. So he's re-gripped the ball before the knock-on. Okay. So the Roosters take the lead. There's a kick to come. Who's going to be on this one? Who normally... Is it Savala? Oh, it's Smith. Sandon Smith. To make it 6-0 for the Roosters. And the kick is good. There's going to be 6-0 for Sydney Roosters. So well done from Nwanga getting around the outside of Chris, offloading it to Toya, and that kind of freed him up down the right-hand side. Having a great year. Absolutely fantastic year. And then Tupou is going to knock the ball on from the kickoff. Instantly gives the Raiders the best field position they've had so far in this game. Granted, it's only been 6.5 minutes, but the Raiders have really been second best in almost everything so far. So, knock on from Tupou. So, a long drop out. Collected on halfway by Tarpany. And he returns it into Roosters territory. And he's only 30 metres out. 7 minutes gone in this game so far. In centre field with Levy at centre field. On his right to Smithies. Still in centre field. Plays it for Levy. On his right to Smith. Sorry, not Smith. Strange. He then switches back to Timoko. So just over the 10 metre line. Levy on his left to Horsburgh. Out the back. Who is 22? Sanders. In centre field, Tarpany is going to go himself. There is a 6 again for the Raiders. They can use up a few tackles here just simple stuff. Apply a bit of pressure, make them work. But they're shifting right. Strange, cutting back towards the middle. Still darting. Stopped a metre short of the line over on the right-hand side of the field. Levy, is he going to go himself? He's going to shift the ball out the back to Sanders. And there's a bit of a mix-up there, but referee says backwards. So we play on. 8 minutes gone in this half. Well, the game so far. Left to Young. Takes it back over the 10. 2 more tackles to go for the Raiders. Left of the sticks. Levy. On the right to Smithies. Then to Sanders. Under pressure. The ball comes loose and it's a knock-on from the Raiders. Roosters in possession of their own 10 with Victor Radley. So, best chance of the game for the Raiders so far. And it's a little bit clunky. A bit of a mess. Not really sure what they were trying to do there. But Robert Toyer takes it over the 20 for the Roosters. So, Iowelu waits at dummy half in centre field. Looks left and goes right to Lindsay Collins. Takes it over the 40. Third tackle for the Roosters. Iowelu to the left to Smith. Then to Crichton. He gets an offload for James Tedesco. Now inside Raiders territory. Still 2 more tackles to go. 9 minutes gone in the game so far. Iowelu. Centre field with Victor Radley. Hands it off to Fekete on his right. He takes it over the 40. Strong carry there, close towards the 30 from Fekete. Iowelu. Right to Savala. Bit of height on this kick towards the back right. It's not going to go very far though. Batted back by Nwangani Tawaze. And it's in the hands of Hudson Young, I believe that is. It is. So the Raiders in possession, just in front of their own 20. Now with Matthew Timoko down the right-hand side. Almost tipped me on the horizontal, but just clean enough. Kale Weeks. Now with Tamale. Again, leading the league in... what was it? Was it clean breaks? Tackle bust, that was the one. Tedesco second. 84 to 83. We've had 10 minutes gone. Levy in centre field. 2 more tackles for the Raiders. Corey Horsburgh takes it into the Roosters territory. Gets an offload for Young. Left to Chris. Brought down just over halfway. Now the last. Levy. It's going to go short side left. Hudson Young. He's going to dink the ball towards the post. Plenty of Roosters players back there to cover that. Tedesco and Tupou especially had that covered. The moon has come out. Sandon Smith at dummy half. Hands it off to Tupou on his left. Smith again. Now with Billy Smith. Just short of halfway. Still early in the set as well for the Roosters. In centre field now with Victor Radley. Out the back to Savala. Across to Toya. That looked forward slightly to Nwangani Tawaze. And they're going to call it forwards. Fair play. That was a close one. And I've seen worse ones than that not given. I certainly have. So, good hands from the Roosters down the right edge. Just slightly forward from Robert Toyer. Well, metre or so. I've definitely seen worse ones than that. So there's going to be a scrum for the Raiders on halfway. Sanders will play this in. And it'll go from Levy out the back to the right with Timoko. Strange. Then hands it off to Hosking. Currently in place of Matty Nicholson. Hopefully Nicholson can work his way back into the side. Corey Horsburgh on the 40. Switches back to Hudson Young. Or was that Smithy, sorry. Ricky Stewart watching from the sidelines. Levy in centre field on his right to Tarpany. Takes it over the 30. 12 minutes gone in this game. 4th tackle for the Raiders. Right to Strange. Then to Hosking up towards the 20. Last tackle coming up. What are the Raiders going to do here? Levy over on the right. Back towards the middle with Sanders. He's going to chip this ball towards the back right. It's going to have to be batted backwards. But they're just going to let Tupou go up in the air for it. The ball comes loose and the Raiders collect it. So another mistake in this game from Daniel Tupou. And Smithies hands it off to Corey Horsburgh. So a fresh set for the Raiders. They've looked slightly disconnected. Don't get into the habit of doing the same stuff, please. There's a Tarpany. over the 10. Great chance for the Raiders. Almost tipped beyond the horizontal, but between the sticks now a few metres out. Levy has a ball played to him by Tarpany. Left to Sanders. Across to Weeks. Having to skip around Robert Toyer, but he wraps him up. Great defensive work from Toyer. Levy fakes left and then goes right. It's now across to Hosking over on the right-hand side. He cuts back towards the middle. And there's a 6 again inside 10 metres from the Roosters. Hosking plays for Levy right at the sticks. Left to Smithies. A few metres short the line. Between the sticks now with Levy. On his right to Sanders. Out the back to Ethan Strange. Wrapped up by Billy Smith. With the third tackle coming up. Good jam in there from both centres for the Roosters. Corey Horsburgh was looking towards the middle. Then skips towards the right. Bit of room to manoeuvre maybe. But he stopped about 5 metres out. Over on the right hand side of the field. Levy hands it off to Smithies. He gets an offload for Sanders. Then across to Hudson Young. So not much happening from the Raiders here. Last tackle. They've got to get Weeks out the back or something. Surely. Sanders. And an incorrect play of the ball or a knock-on from the play of the ball from Hudson Young. What are the Raiders doing, man? They just trying to crash over. When they do spread the ball, they're not really sure what they want to do. Yeah, knock-on from Hudson Young. When trying to play the ball, didn't recover it, unfortunately. So we have a scrum for the Roosters on their own 10. The Roosters have had 1 tackle in the red zone. The Raiders have had 17. Yet the Roosters are winning. That kick across field to Nwanganitawaze for the first try. It's now with Siwa Wong. Ioelu. Now with Lindsay Collins up towards the 30. Ioelu again. On the left to Foketi in centre field. Stopped just short of the 40, but gets an offload for James Tedesco. But he's wrapped up by Horsburgh and Tarpany, the 2 big front rowers for the Raiders. 25 minutes to go in the first half. It's right to Wong. He takes it up to halfway. Last tackle coming up for Roosters. Ioelu goes short side right to Savala. Possible late hit. I think it's all good though, but Weeks takes it on the full just in front of his own try line. Takes it over the 10. And up towards the 20. Now it's Savala. Sorry, Tamale. I keep thinking it's... Yeah, I got that one wrong. But Sebastian Chris takes it up to the 30. Sanders in centre field. On his right to Xavier Savage. Only a few metres made there on that plate. It's now the 4th. Levy asking the referee for something there, I think. But Horsburgh over the 40. Wrapped up by Ioelu and Wong. Sorry, that's Foketi. And Horsburgh is not in a good way. They can't be doing this. They can't be doing this. They don't need this. Just getting his foot trapped underneath Billy Smith. I hope he's okay. So it's on the last now. Sanders kicks from his own 40. Towards the back left. Nwanganitawaze underneath it. Takes it cleanly. And given that Tupou's already dropped it twice, you might as well go towards Tupou. Now Savala. With Sandon Smith in centre field. Out the back to Tedesco. Then launches it across to Billy Smith down the left edge. And the ball comes loose. Recovered by the Raiders. So a few too many mistakes from the Roosters so far. Now fortunately the Raiders don't look very effective in possession inside the red zone. Maybe working inside the 10 there's not enough room to manoeuvre. So maybe once they get to the 20 or just inside, maybe 15 metres out, try and spread the ball at that point. Maybe. Well, they're in centre field. Right to Strange. He's going to switch back to Matthew Timoko, who takes it over the 20. Just right of centre field. Levy on his left to Tarpany. In centre field. Dragged up towards the 5. The Roosters players just letting him inside the 10. Just letting him get close to the line, but Sanders switches back to Hudson Young. He's now stepping. Can he get an offload? Yes, he can for Corey Horsburgh. He's going to dink the ball through and chase after it. Tedesco under pressure. Corey Horsburgh. Oh, but James Tedesco instead to counter that argument. The praise I was about to give Corey Horsburgh for that. But James Tedesco snatches the moment away. And just gets over the try line to not give away a dropout. But it's with Billy Smith. About 15, 16 metres out from his own try line. Ayuelu on his right to James Tedesco on the fourth tackle. But he's smashed into... Who was that? That was Morgan Smithies. On the last, right to Savala. Plenty of distance on this kick. It's going to bounce once, twice. Pops up nicely for Kale Weeks. And that's 18 minutes gone in the first half. Weeks recovers it over the 30. So good field position to start this set. And Connor Watson is about to come on for the Roosters. I think Ayuelu's done a decent job here. I mean, not much he's had to do. But defensively, I think he's been fine. But Sebastian Chris with a carry through centre field. Going to play it on the 40. Levy. And the ball comes loose. It's going to be a knock on. Levy thinks he's been hard done by there. Do they want to challenge it? Let's have a look. So I'm pretty sure the marker was square. And he just goes for the tackle. The ball comes loose. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It'd be a waste of a challenge. So it's going to be a Roosters scrum on their own 40. The Raiders have kind of been gifted a lot of field position here, but they've not done anything with it. But Sandon Smith down the left edge. Half a chance. Being dragged towards the touchline. This is going to be huge defensive work from Strange. Can't quite get him into touch. But the whistle has been blown. And we've stopped for a moment. A penalty for the Roosters. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have a look in a second. On the replay. Oh, it was Smith taken out. I thought it was just kind of... I didn't fully pay attention to that moment out the back there, so... Yeah, Billy Smith was taken out. And the Roosters will start a fresh set 40 metres out from the try line. I've got a feeling this would kill the Raiders if the Roosters score, but there's already a knock on. Connor Watson. To be fair, though, the last time Connor Watson played in the game, his first touch was a knock on. His second was a try. And that was in State of Origin. Well, Connor Watson just knocked on. But the Roosters now want to challenge this. Let's have a look. I think they're kind of guessing that a Raiders player touched it. Oh, hang on. Tarpany might have got a fingertip to that. Tarpany might have had a touch on that. Okay, so the bunker is going to say it's inconclusive. I think it's difficult to tell a change in speed of the ball or a change in direction of the ball. It's difficult. I'm okay with inconclusive there. I'm okay with that. Because it is close. You're kind of just forcing a decision at that point. I don't think it's that confident that Tarpany's touched it, so I think that's probably fine. Joey Manu in the crowd. Is he going to come back? Maybe. Maybe when Tedesco's done, maybe they'll look to get Joey Manu back into the side. Maybe. But the Raiders are in possession on halfway. Can they actually put something together on this set? So, of the 12 sets for the Roosters, they've completed only 7. 58% completion rate, 73% for the Raiders, which is still not great, but it's a hell of a lot better than the Roosters so far. Well, the Roosters are the one with the points, so it's not working for the Raiders right now, whatever they're doing. But Corey Horsburgh takes a carry. They're now about 35 metres out, Joseph Tarpany. I was going to say Jarpany then, but Joseph Tarpany. 30 metres out, plays with a Levy in centre field. He's going to scoot himself, eat up a few metres. But it's now the last tackle. Smithies just in front of the 20. Sanders across to Chris. Switches back to Hudson Young. He's going to dink the ball through. But Nwangani Tawaze in possession. Free space in front of him. Kale Weeks is shifting across. Can he get him into touch? This would be huge defence if he can. Mark Nwangani Tawaze stays in field somehow. Plays it on the 20. Toya back towards the middle with Savala. Now Smith. Bit of room down the left-hand side. Launch it over the top, mate. Launch it. Oh, that was on. Watson left to Tedesco. Billy Smith has to fall to his knees. He stopped on the 20. That was on for the Roosters. Over near the left touchline. Back towards the middle with Savala. Next carry through the middle. Steep plays it for Watson, left to Smith, engaged the line, stopped on the 10. Last tackle for the Roosters. Watson is going to go himself, hands it off to Savala, trying to crash over. Can he get an offload? Yes, he can. He gets it off to Radley. A bit of a mess here, but still moving. And Steep is going to be wrapped up. And the Raiders will play this on their own 10. Could have easily been double digits for the Roosters there. But Tamale bumps off Lindsay Collins of all people. So with Timoko. Sanders. Now with Hudson Young over the 30. Plays with a Levy. In centre field now with Corey Horsburgh, who takes it over the 40. It's the fourth tackle coming up for Canberra. Plays with Ethan Strange. Plenty of height on this kick. Towards the back right, but Tedesco takes it on the full on his own 20. Shifting back towards the middle, trying to get around a few players. And he does. There's a break here for Tedesco. But there's going to be an obstruction. Oh, I didn't see anything at the time. I'm sure they'll show us a replay. Let's have a look. That's Savala's fault. That just getting in the way. No attempt to get out of the way. I think it was Hudson Young. Yeah, just about. Good spot. The Raiders with a fresh set, 25 metres out. There's a tap from Levy, now with Papali'i. Can he crash over? Can they do something a little bit differently, actually? Well, Smithies switches back to Corey Horsburgh. Raiders had double the play the balls inside the red zone. But left to Smithies, up towards a 10. I'd say shift it now. Just left of the sticks, shift it over to the right-hand side, get Ethan Strange out the back with, or Weeks. Somebody. Bullet across to Savage. But Weeks and Strange, they need to make something happen here. Papali'i, though, almost the one to get the first points for the Raiders. Inches away from the try line. Levy is going to dink the ball through, though. And it's going to be grounded in goal by Victor Radley. And that's going to be a goal line dropout. So well done for the Raiders. I suppose right now, if they're a little bit disconnected, if they can't find a way to connect through, a set play through structure offensively, your next best bet is building as much pressure as you can, wearing down the Roosters' defensive line, making them do a lot of work on their own try line, and then eventually get one of your big boys to crash over in centre field. And Ethan Strange recovers the ball from the dropout. It was a long dropout again. So not risking the short one yet from Savala. But Papali'i takes it up towards the 20. Second tackle for the Raiders in centre field now with Smithies. Now it's Asangi. Or is that Mariota? 17. Let me just check 17. I think it's Mariota, actually. Yes. And we've got an issue here with somebody. Somebody's down. It might be... Oh, it's Radley. Just got his head in the wrong place there. Victor Radley is down at the moment. He's getting assessed. Oh, but he's back on his feet. He's all good. So HIA for Victor Radley. Huge work through the middle. Maybe a little bit easier for the Roosters now. Or sorry, for the Raiders now to be able to crash over. Hopefully he's all good. A few Roosters players jumping the gun there. But Butcher is going to come on for Radley. But it's now with Smithies in centre field. Come on, Canberra. Let's see a bit of creativity. Well, Mariotta. Then out the back to Papali'i. He's going to go himself. 15 minutes to go in the first half. Last tackle in centre field. Levy left to Sanders. Kicks the ball through. Possibly played out from Savala, but it's a knock on either way. And there's going to be another fresh set of 6 for the Raiders. I'm trying to think if we've properly seen Strange and Weeks on the same side of the field with one of them out the back. I'm telling you, double block shape either on the left or right. Strange out the back first, Weeks out the back second, vice versa. And it's a try. I'm telling you. I've called it. 14 minutes to go. In centre field now with Hudson Young. He's shifting towards the right. Corner dead end, but then gets it off to Hosking. And he's just going to surrender. He's brought down on the 10. Levy, right at the sticks. Then with Smithies in centre field. The commentators are saying Levi, but I remember them calling him Levy once, so I'm going to stick with Levy for now. Out the back to Sanders, and across to Hudson Young. Good defensive work there from Toya. Papali'i trying to crash over. Canberra, please, for the love of God. Please. Sanders. Smith out the back. 3-on-2 maybe. Across to Timoko. Surely the defence from the Roosters, immaculate again. Billy Smith. Both the centres, Robert Toya, Billy Smith. Great defensive work today so far. But the Raiders, best chance right there. Nwanga with a decent carry. The Roosters have had basically double the tackles in this game as well. And they still look fit as a fiddle as a unit. But it's now steep with the carry through the middle. Canberra, come on. Come on. Watson in centre field now. Is that Spencer Lenu? Yes, it is. The impact sub. Billy Smith takes it up to halfway. Plays for Connor Watson now on the last. With Sandon Smith. Kicks from the halfway line. Towards back left. Almost out on the full. Almost. Some of the kicks this season from Sandon Smith haven't been great. But that worked out fairly nicely. I spotted someone in the crowd there. Someone that's on... I can't remember his name, but he does some of the commentary. And he does like a radio thing with Brian Fletcher. Oh, I can't remember his name. But he's a commentator and does the radio stuff with Fletch. So someone will know who I'm talking about. I'm sure I just saw him in the crowd then. Amongst the fans. But Patty is now on for the Raiders. And they're on their own 20. Hosking takes the next carry in this set with the third tackle coming up. Oh, hang on a minute. He gets an offload. Sanders can just eat up meters in centre field. He takes it up to the 40. Now it's the third tackle for the Raiders. Patty goes left to Weeks. Hudson Young goes across to Chris, trying to get around the outside of Robert Toya, who wraps up Chris again. Robert Toya. He was under this kind of pressure in Origin, and he dealt with it. Left to Sanders. Plenty of height on this one towards the back left. Nwanga goes up, takes it cleanly. Strong hit from Patty, bringing him down on the 10 with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Robert Toya with a carry. just 15 metres out from his own try line. Savala, Tupou in centre field, up to the 20. Plays it for Connor Watson. Left to Sandon Smith, switches back to Billy Smith. Over the 30. Over on the left, Watson comes back towards the middle with Butcher. And Steep then takes it just short of halfway. Connor Watson in centre field on the last tackle. Right to Savala. Not the best kick in the world, that one. That's pretty poor, actually. It's taken already up to the 30 by Tamale. And he's going to play this on the 30 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Savage takes it up towards the 40, just short. I was at the Rhinos game yesterday, crazy game. I need to watch it back, Simon. I need to watch it back. Or at least look at the highlights first. But apparently there was a punch thrown as well. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I need to look at it. Raiders inside the Roosters territory. Mariota up towards the 30. Last tackle for the Raiders. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Left to Sanders. He'll chip the ball over the top. It's only going to end up towards the 10. Nwangani takes it cleanly on the full. Almost gets around the outside, but he's dragged into touch. Finally, Nwangani has dealt with so much pressure under the high ball, but he's done a fantastic job. Almost getting around the outside of a few defenders there. Probably not the best decision in that, with that little space, but he's done enough good work. I'm not going to have a go at him for that. Isaac, hi. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Still only 10 followers, now 9 subscribers away from 8,100. I think I might be able to hit 10k this year. That would be great. Well, Mariota up towards the 10. Patty in centre field, 9 minutes to go. Left to Hosking. Now 5 metres out. Surely, Canberra. Surely. Right to Papali'i. Now Sanders. Smith out the back. Oh, sorry. Sanders out the back. Strange out the back. Just the wrong player. Twice. Then Savage scores in the corner. That was awful. This is why I'm not on TV. This is why I'll never be on TV. Because I don't have a clue who anyone is. I knew who they were. I just didn't even get it right. So left of the sticks, right to Papali'i. Then out the back to Strange, across to Savage. Nailed it second time. Anyway. Finally the Raiders answer back. There is life in the Raiders. There's a big kick to come. I'm trying to think who's going to be on this one. Possibly Weeks. I think Strange takes a few. I don't know if Sanders would be on this one. But most tries for the Raiders. Young and Savage both tied on 9 at the top. Chris with 7. Tamale and Timoko with 6. It's going to be KO Weeks with the conversion. Lockie Miller had to come off. He might have sprained his foot. He was limping a few times at yesterday's game. It's not good, that. Not good at all. But right near the touchline for KO Weeks. The kick from Weeks. Little stutter step. And it's wide, so 6-4, the score remains. Not happy with himself there. I'm trying to think, who would replace Miller? Is it Edgell? Is that his name? Edgell? It might be Edgell. So, I mean, it might just be something minor. If it's something that would only take a week to heal, luckily, Leeds have got a week off. Not for the reasons that they want, but they've got a week off. And we're back underway. And Tamale hands it off to Mariota, who takes it over the 10 with a strong run. with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Sanders. Now with Tamale. Just short of the 20. Patty in centre field. Plenty of space behind the rock. He's got Strange in support. Just brought down. Could have been a possible line break there, but Strange, bit of space behind the rock again there. Decent carries, 6.5 to go. Fourth tackle. Now up to halfway. Hosking inside Roosters territory. He's going to play this just short of the 40. Sasangi is also on for Smithies. Now it's Sanders in centre field. Kicks it towards the back left to Nwangani Tawaze. Takes it cleanly on the 10. Brought down by Young and Chris. Savala now with Robert Toya. Tupou through centre field over the 20. Strong hit from Papali'i. Plays it for Connor Watson. Now with James Tedesco on the third tackle. Watson is going to scoot, then hands it off to Wong on his right. Now just short of halfway. Last tackle, right to Savala. Back inside to James Tedesco. He's going to go for the kick, but he's under pressure immediately. And it's going to be knock-on from the Roosters, I believe. And a play the ball for the Raiders on halfway. Massive hit as Tedesco's trying to kick that. Hudson Young goes straight into him. Drew, hello. Go the Roosters. Hello to you, Drew. Thanks for stopping by. It's a big hit from Hudson Young. Just timed that well enough. Because that could have been an ugly one. But he's timed it almost to perfection. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Patty, now with Timoko. So I think the Raiders can probably comfortably get 2 full sets in here. And if they haven't scored in that time, if they're in good enough field position, just go for the 2-point field goal. Right at the end of the half. Patty in centre field. Right to Papali'i, up towards the 20. Patty on his left to Sanders, switches back to Mariota. He's now brought down short of the 10. No, he's not. He offloads it to Papali'i, right to Strange. Switches back to Timoko. And he's stopped about 13, 14 metres out from the try line. Patty, right at the sticks. On his left to Sanders. Out the back to Weeks. Across to Chris. Then to Marley. Has to cut back towards the middle. Still shifting towards the right-hand side. Papali'i's in the way. Might have to surrender there. Stopped on the 20. It's now the last for the Raiders. Centre field with Sanders. Kicks towards the back right. That is an awful kick. Batted backwards though, but recovered by Sandon Smith. Crichton. Now with Billy Smith. Not a good kick at all. Not a good kick at all. It's now with Tupou in centre field. Up to the 30. Left to Sandon Smith, who switches back to Angus Crichton. And the whistle's blown for a penalty in favour of the Roosters. Raiders not having the best of games here. So fresh set for the Roosters. Only 40 metres out. I need to yawn. Sorry, guys. Spencer Lenu. Up to the 30. Centre field with Savala. Across to James Tedesco. Robert Toya trying to get around Sebastian Chris. Dragging in the touchline. The ball comes loose. That is a knock-on. So good defensive work from Chris to make sure he gets him into touch. Good effort from Toya. Trying to get the ball off at the end, I think, there. Just didn't have the room to work with. That's a big stop, because I had a feeling that if the Roosters got settled in that end, they would have scored with 2 minutes to go in the first half. But the Raiders are in possession. So play the ball for Patty in centre field now with Sebastian Chris. He takes it up to the 30. Victor Radley passed his HIA. Now it's Strange on the right. Hands it off to Sasangi, but kicks the ball through before the knock-on. Recovered by Strange. Or Savage, sorry. He then offloads it to Patty. Chucks it over to the right to Timoko. He's got Sasangi, who started the whole manoeuvre. That is worth a trumpet, surely. That is a gorgeous try. If that's actually come off and he didn't knock on, like if he actually got the kick away before that hit the ground, that is a gorgeous try. Oh, he definitely kicked that first. Definitely. What a try that is. Nice. Very, very nice. So that's going to be 8-6 in favour of the Raiders. There's calls for a knock on there from Savage to Patty, but I think one, it went backwards, two, it was a legitimate pass. So I'm okay with that personally. I'm okay with that. So 8-6 for now. I'm not sure if the try was confirmed yet or not. Look, the Martin Awangani-Tuaze's try was 50-50, whether he got a hold of the ball again. That was close to 50-50. This is close to 50-50. I reckon that's just play on. Oh, this is going to be checked. Oh, no. No. Oh, way to ruin a great moment, but rules are rules. Oh, my God. Is Crichton not holding Sasangi back, though? Is he not holding him back? Yes, Sasangi's been held back as well. Look, from the pass from Savage to Patty, I can give that as 50-50 as the Nwangani-Tuaze try was in terms of grounding. But Sasangi's being pulled back there. That's not on. That's not on. I think they've missed. Definitely needs a trumpet. After that, we've got to wait for something else. That's not on. Raiders could have had the lead there. But at worst, should have been a penalty for the Raiders. It's now with Butcher with a really strong carry through centre field. So the Roosters, now 20 metres out, could have been down in great field position inside the red zone with Savala just short of the 10. Left of the sticks, Connor Watson. Left to Crichton. Caught in a dead end. Can he get an offload? Yes, he can. Connor Watson loses possession. Really? 6 again for the Roosters. 30 seconds left in the first half. Shannon Smith shifting right. Hands it off to Butcher. He gets an offload for Savala. Support from Tedesco. How have they managed to make that work? Incredible play off the cuff from the Roosters. Fair play. Fair play. Could have been down. And they've just switched momentum like that. On a dime. How did they make that work? Wow. I feel like I need to see the strip again. I think that's what the ref gave it as a strip. Let's have a look at the grounding here, because I've not seen it fully yet. Yeah, grounding's all good. So it is 10-4 with a kick to come, but it's close enough to the sticks. Let's have a trumpet anyway, shall we? Some great moments in this game. It's been a little bit off from the Raiders, but overall in this game, there's been some great moments. Sandon Smith to make it 12-4 before we go into the sheds. And the kick is good. So that's half time. 12-4 for the Roosters. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Anyway, it happens, unfortunately. You don't want it to, but it happens. Jesus Christ. Okay. Raiders switched off. I don't... Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit. Not been that disappointed with the Raiders defensively, just offensively, I think. They've a little bit too basic. Or a little bit too clueless at times. Ooh, Moley, not happy with Klein in this game. Not happy with him at all, apparently. I do think the Raiders can bring this one back, though. I'm going to look at the games next week, actually, and see what I might be streaming. Get a head start, see what's on and when it's on. Let's have a look. Start with Super League, shall we? Oh, yeah. It's the Challenge Cup final. You moron. Your team's playing in it, you absolute idiot. Okay, the week after that, then. For God's sake. The week after that, it's either Hull FC versus Castleford or Hull KR versus Catalans. On paper, KR vs Catalans is a better game, but Catalans just... I think I'd get pissed off watching Catalans. So I'd rather watch Hull FC vs Castleford, if I'm honest. I think watching the Catalans Dragons, I think they'd just piss me off. But then on the Saturday, Huddersfield vs Wigan. I could do back-to-back, because then it's Leeds Warrington after that, which I'm definitely going to stream. I don't know whether to do back-to-back. I'll have a think about it. It might be a slightly better game since the Giants have now got more of the regulars back. So maybe there's something in there. But Wakefield versus Lee, definitely going to do that one. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. But NRL games next week, let's have a look. So to pair the Challenge Cup final. Let's have a gander. Thursday's Knights versus Seagulls. Do I want to do another Knights game? Maybe I'll do the Knights versus Eagles. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe. Friday, 9 o'clock is Storm versus Cowboys. Could be a good one. Dolphins versus Dragons at 11. That might be a good one, actually. Bulldogs and Eels on the Monday. Broncos versus Titans. That'll just be the shit bowl, actually. Sharks versus Warriors could be good on Saturday morning. So there's a few decent options there, but I'll see. I will see. Just adjusting the camera. Right. Robert Toyer's looked really solid, actually, in this game. Defensively, I think he's looked really solid. I'm going to make a bold claim, actually. Okay. So, if England, for the Ashes... I'll just put that back up, actually. If England, for the Ashes, go with an entire left-hand side... entire left-hand side of England is all Wigan. So that's Nsemba, Smith, Wardle and Marshall. Australia could do the same on that side. I think there is a chance if Robert Toyer gets through State of Origin, because I'm sure he'll be there next week or next time, because I think he's earned a spot. If Toyer is there in Game 2 and Game 3, looks stable in all games, continues to look decent, and continues the rest of the season looking good, Robert Toyer gets in the Australia side. Does he start? I'm not entirely sure if he does. Not sure. But Mark Nwangini-Tawaze on his outside, I think legitimately could get in. I think you have... I think it's going to end up being Dylan Edwards at fullback. Could be Kalen Ponga. I'd like it to be Pappenhausen, if I'm honest. Right wing, Nwangini-Tawaze. Right centre, Toyer. Left centre is probably going to be Hamaso or Latrell Mitchell. Am I missing anyone? Probably Latrell. Xavier Coates left wing. Oops, all it's a Sunday. We all have brain fart moments. Yes, we do. Speaking of the whole game, I was at Longbar afterwards from the game, and I showed Jamie Jones Buchanan the score, and he was shocked. Well, it was an interesting one. I was positive they would win, but not by that much. We've got a few controversial things to look at. First of all, Sasangi's moment. It's almost a perfectly good try that's just gone missing. Even the Raiders even tweeted disallowed tries with a crying emoji. John says almost up 8-6. To down 12-4, just like that, I would say game over. I wouldn't say game over just yet. Could be a tough mountain to climb. we have Brandon Smith as well, now at South Sydney Rabbitohs. See how he gets on. Actually, let's look at this Harry Newman incident. Let's have a look. Quality's not great. Oh dear. I mean, is he punching Newman or is he just trying to punch the ball out? I'm not entirely sure there. I mean, it looks like he's getting punched, but surely if he was just straight up being punched, there'd be a bigger reaction from the Leeds players. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a different angle of it. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch the highlights back first. Right. So, stream has been pretty quiet, unfortunately. It's always boring as hell when it's like that, unfortunately. I don't really have the NRL following. Super League I do. Just not really NRL. I do for the videos, for like predictions and stuff like that. I do, just not for streaming normally. Let's see if any more Raiders fans have said anything. Missing Fogarty's kicking game? Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. Just go home, lads. The NRL already decided we won't win this one. Can someone teach Owen what offside is? He does it all the time on defence and now costs us one on offence. Granted, the call was wrong, but he just needs to learn. Few BS calls, but we don't deserve to be in front right now. I'm a Tigers supporter and will happily chip in for whatever fine they issue to Ricky for calling out this bullshit refereeing. What an absolute joke. So a few fans not happy. A few fans not happy. And this is Ethan Sanders' debut. I'm sure he played once before, unless I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm sure he had a game last year or something. I could be wrong. The players are back out. We're about to get back underway. Here we go. Final 40 of the week. Only 6 subscribers away from 8.1k. Bloody lovely. So we're back underway. 12-4 for the Roosters. The Raiders are in possession on their own 20. With Tamale. He's going to play this for Owen Patty in centre field. Then on his left to Hudson Young. Wrapped up by 3 defenders, Wong, Toya and Savala. Dragging back towards the 20. Good defensive work. Now with Papali'i. Takes it up towards the 30. Now with Hosking. Now the last tackle. They'll kick from behind the 40 with Sanders. Plenty of distance on this kick, but Nwangani-Tawaze takes it cleanly on the full. Tedesco returns the ball up to the 30. So I reckon as soon as the Raiders get Tarpany, Horsburgh and Papali'i on at the same time, that's going to be a bit of a game changer, I think. If they do that at any point. I think they need to. But Butcher for the Roosters takes a carry over the 40 with the 3rd tackle coming up. So plenty of tackles left in this set. Not a bad field position for the Roosters as well, but Angus Crichton takes it up to halfway. Connor Watson hands it off to Tedesco on his right. Eating up some metres down the right-hand side of the field. Over the 40 and up to the 30. Last tackle for the Roosters. They go short side right to Hugo Savala. Plenty of height on this kick. Weeks under a little bit of pressure, but takes it cleanly. Billy Smith is there to greet him. And Sebastian Chris at dummy half will hand it off to Tamale. The Roosters could seriously pin the Raiders back here. Just got to be disciplined. Matthew Timoko down the right edge, up towards the 10. And it's the 3rd tackle. So the Raiders under a lot of pressure at the moment. Now with Xavier Savage. Makes about 5 or 6 metres on that plate. Patty over on the right, back towards the middle with Papali'i. Up to the 30. Now the last tackle. Good defensive set from the Roosters. Sanders on the last. Kicks long. But the Roosters, with Nwangani-Tawaze, is already going to start this set on the 40. So field position firmly in favour of the Roosters. Sandon Smith, now with Tupou. Takes it fully over the 40, or is dragged back. Now Billy Smith. Plays it for Connor Watson. Centre field with Spencer Leniu over halfway. It's a decent carry. 4 defenders in the tackle just to slow him down. But plays it on the 40. Great carry from Spencer Leniu. Left to Sandon Smith. Brought down on the last tackle. Or last tackle coming up. 30 metres out. Watson in centre field now with Hugo Savala. Kicks towards the back right. Plenty of height on this one. But Tamale gets a hold of it. Skips past 2. Skips again through centre field. Decent effort here. Oh, just couldn't stay on his feet. If he did, maybe there was a chance of a line break in there. But Timoko now in possession up towards the 20. The Raiders still under a bit of pressure inside their own half. Sebastian Chris with the next carry, just short of the 30. Mariota wrapped up by 3 defenders, 3 of the big men through the middle. Radley, possibly with a cut on his head. 40-20 attempt here from Patty, I think. This is going to be close. He's got the angle and the distance. Oh, nicely done, Owen Patty. That was very close to being over the 40. I think he's just in, but that was very close. If he's in, that's beautiful work. And that's a massive, massive momentum changer. Hi, Dingle. Welcome. Good morning. Well done, Owen Patty. That is huge. Field position was massively in favour of the Roosters over the last few sets. But that is huge. So they'll play this ball on the Roosters 10. Well done, Owen Patty. So the Raiders, They want to answer back quickly, and they can do within the first 5 minutes of the second half. Patty in centre field, left to Papali'i, across to Sanders. Wayward pass, but recovered by Kale Weeks. He's then brought down 10, 9, maybe 8 metres out. More like 9, I reckon, if I had to be specific. Let's go with 9, shall we? Chris now to Hudson Young. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Left of the sticks. Owen Patty. On his right to Sanders. I do need to yawn. Please don't score this time. Happened during the Seagulls game. Please don't score. And they don't. Right in front of the sticks. Owen Patty. Looks left but goes right. Goes himself. Stopped inches short the line. Papali'i at dummy half. And the back to Sanders. Kicks the ball through. Decent chase from Sasangi. Gets the ball down. It's close. Close in the grounding. They will give it, but this one's worth a look. I think it was okay, but this one's going to be close. Well, huge turnaround from the Raiders because they were getting pinned back massively. That 40-20 from Patty was huge. There's 34 minutes to go, Dingle. 34. Let's have a look at this grounding. This is close. This is going to be close. Ooh, I think he's got it. Try confirmed. Yes, just about. That is incredibly close to a knock on. That is so close. Well, I think you've got to lean towards giving it. 12-8 with a kick to come. You want the Roosters to win? Okay. They've looked all right. They've had to deal with a lot of pressure. They gave the ball away a lot in the first half. But they dealt with it well. A lot of pressure on their own goal line. The Raiders weren't great in moving the ball around, but I think with a lot of attempts at crashing over, the Roosters did a good job. Sanders to add the extras. That's looking... Oh, it's going to hit the left post. 12-8, the score remains. Probably should have got that one, but there's 33 minutes to go in this game. The Raiders are now back in it. Well done. Nice little kick there from Sanders as well. Nicely weighted. I think the pass from dummy half from Papali'i was just in front of him. I think that really helped with momentum. So Sanders was under a bit of pressure, but because he had to lean forwards to get to it in the first place, kind of helped him get in position for that kick. Papali'i, the new dummy half. But Patty, on the 10, will hand it off to Kale Weeks. He'll make a metre from that carry. Patty, now over the 20 with Papali'i. Hosking through the middle, up to the 30. So a few decent carries back to back here. Now with Mariota, on the fourth tackle, takes it just short of the 40. It's now the last for the Raiders. Patty on his right to Strange. Plenty of height on this. Not too much distance, but plenty of height. And Tupou takes it cleanly on his own 20. And he's dragged back towards the 20. 32 minutes to go in this game. Billy Smith up to the 30 with the second tackle coming up for the Roosters. Smith plays it for Smith. Now with Tedesco. With a carry on the second up towards the 40. Not bad field position with a few tackles to go. Almost could have been a 6 again, but it's not. That's going to be Siwa Wong up to halfway. Papali'i had a hand on the ball there. Could have easily been a 6 again, but Watson is going to scoot from dummy half up towards the 40 with the last tackle coming up. Sandon Smith chips the ball towards the back left. Savage is going to let this ball bounce a few times. Recovers it in goal. Under a lot of pressure. 4 defenders in proximity. So 9 minutes gone in the second half. The Raiders could be stuck in their own end again. They'll just need either a bit of ill discipline from the Roosters, or they can spread the ball, or maybe Owen Patty with another 40-20. But here is Patty. Goes right to Savage. Over the 20. 4th tackle. Hudson Young through centre field. Over the 30. A great carry from Hudson Young. Great carry. Patty waits at dummy half. On his left to Sanders. Kicks from behind the 40. Plenty of height on this one. Tupou underneath it. Takes it cleanly. He's had 2 knock-ons in this game. But he's been pretty clean since those 2. Now with Sanders. Then to Savala. Nwangani-Tawaze. Oof. Awkwardly brought down by Sanders. Just getting his feet stuck underneath him. He's now with Robert Toya. With the next carry. A little bit back and forth at the moment, but field position is looking slightly better for the Roosters. Tedesco on the 3rd tackle takes it over halfway. Brought down by Chris and Young. Wong. Centre field with Radley, who switches back to Spencer Leniu. Bumps off one. Scans the line. But Sasangi wraps him up and brings him down. Not sure who that was on. Maybe Patty or Young, one of those guys. But Kale Weeks underneath the high ball. Takes it cleanly on his own 10. God, he'd love a bit of room to run. He can move. He's quick. But Ethan Strange at dummy half hands it off to Xavier Savage. Oh, can he get an offload there? Not quite, but he's stopped on the 30. Patty in centre field goes left to Sanders. Now a Tamale up to the 40. 29 minutes to go in this game. Hosking through centre field. Canberra Raiders just short of halfway. 4th tackle. Patty goes onto his left-hand side with Hudson Young, who tapes it just short of the 40 inside Roosters territory. Over on the left-hand side of the field with the last tackle. Short side left to Sanders. Plenty of height on this. Not too much distance, but plenty of height. Tedesco takes it cleanly, but he's wrapped up by Hosking and Chris. Just in front of his own 10. Savala, now with Nwangani-Tawaze. Wrapped up almost immediately by 3 defenders. Just short the 20. So the Raiders are going to need to change the field position here into their favour. Roosters now just short of their own 30. Connor Watson goes short side right to Siwa Wong. The Fijian international over the 40. Great carry there from Siwa Wong. Shifting left with Sandon Smith. Hands it off to Angus Crichton. Could have been an awkward one there. Inside Raiders territory. On the last tackle now. Watson on his right to Savala. With a high ball towards the back right. Plenty of height on this. Nwangani-Tawaze bats the ball backwards, but recovered by Sanders for the Raiders. Weeks now with Chris. Up towards the 20. So well done, Nwangani-Tawaze getting up, batting that one backwards. But the Raiders up to their own 30 with the 3rd tackle coming up. Patty over on the left-hand side of the field. Will hand it off to Timoko on his right, who takes the ball up to the 40. It's now the 4th. Eventually, plenty of extra metres there from Timoko up to halfway. Patty's going to find a bit of space behind the ruck. Left to Sanders. But no one's there with him really, or not as high up as he'd like. Now the last, only 40 metres out. Strange is going to just dart past one, chip the ball over the top. Nobody's really pressuring Tedesco, and he skips past 1, then 2, then 3, and another. Tedesco still shifting. You got to get him down. Oh my God. You can't let that happen. No pressure on him from the back of the kick, and then already up to inside Raiders territory. Tupou. Strange is quicker than him though. Let's go. Oh my God. Daniel. Is that the most nonchalant try you've ever seen? Is it? That can't be. That can't be the most nonchalant try you've ever seen, surely, can it? You can't let Tedesco run like that. Tries confirmed as well. 16 points to 8 with a kick to come. (16-8) with a kick to come. So most tries, Ken Irvine, 212, Tupou 170, quite a way off. I think he'd need to play for at least 3 more years with, most tries in the league. 5 subs away from 8.1k. Sandon Smith to make this a 10-point game. The kick from Sandon Smith looks good, and it is good, straight between the sticks. 18-8. The Raiders, they've had plenty of decent field position. They've had chances to do damage. They've just not really done enough with it. There's a few good moments here and there. Some things not really worked out in their favour. But a few moments have just been good from the Roosters. Some moments not good enough from the Raiders. And they're now 10 points behind. And the Raiders will get us back underway with 24 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. Tupou will hand the ball off to Spencer Leniu with a strong hit into Zach Hosking. So this could be an opportunity for the Raiders to at least pin the Roosters back a little bit. Butcher will take it over the 20. Plays with Connor Watson in centre field. Now with Angus Crichton just to the left. Takes it up to the 30. 24.5 minutes to go. It's now the third for the Roosters. Watson on his right to Radley. He'll take a carry through centre field up towards the 40. So decent meters already for the Roosters. Watson on the 4th. Chance to nearly break through behind the ruck. But he's going to play it for Sandon Smith on the last. Now with Savala. Again, plenty of height on this ball. Weeks under pressure. Billy Smith is first to it. But that is going to be a turnover on the last tackle. Plenty of tall blokes for the Roosters. But it's now with Savage. Then Tamale. There's no attempt there from Weeks to go up for it. Sanders now with Savage. Up to the 30. Maybe 40-20 to maybe liven things up a bit for the Raiders, maybe. Patty. Now Papali'i. Over the 40. 4th tackle. Centre field with Hosking. Takes it up to halfway. Last tackle coming up for the Raiders. Patty. Right in the centre of the field. Goes on his left to Sanders. I think someone is offside. I think Hudson Young is offside. Plenty of height on this one. Nwangani takes it cleanly. Already around Chris. But he's wrapped up by Hudson Young. And already up to the 30. So good field position for the Roosters. Next carry up towards the 40 from Robert Toya. And there's a knock-on. Huge mistake there from the Roosters. Gifting field position to the Raiders. They were building so much pressure. That's Butcher with the mistake, I think. Patty's going to play this in centre field. Strange. 6 again as well. Ruck infringement. Sasangi. Only about 25 metres out. This is a huge defensive set for the Roosters. Just over 22 minutes to go. 100% completion rate in the second half for the Raiders. Left to Sanders. Then to Mariota. Over the 10. Now about 5 or 6 metres out. Just going to play this for Patty, left of the sticks, who goes short side left. Hands it off to, I think that's Hosking, trying to crash over. Stop just short. Patty hands it off to Mariota, trying to crash over again. In front of the left post. Fourth tackle coming up. Patty. Look left, went right to Strange. Looks at the line. Darts left then right. Not much happening. Just set something up. Throw a bit of shape at them. Left to Sanders. Flat lines here. Going across to Chris. 2-on-1. You have to cut back inside, but he manages to keep the ball just in. I need to see this again, but I think the Raiders have got this one. It is given. Hudson Young gets the Raiders back on the board. How has Tamale managed to get rid of that ball? Show me that again, please. And thank you. So Patty went left to Sanders, then to Young, across to Chris, then to Tamale. Oh my God, what an offload. How many defenders were in that tackle then? 1, 2, 3. 3.5. One got there slightly late. What an offload. What an offload. Raiders are still in this. Jules, yes, I do remember you. Welcome back. I certainly do. Ooh, 4 subscribers away from 8.1k. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. If you'd like to become a member as well, you can do for as little as £1 a month, which is around $2 Australian a month. Content is free, so you don't have to, but it's just if you'd like to. And follow me on TikTok as well, and join the Discord. All that's in the description. Hang on. What are we checking here? Try confirmed. Thank God for that. Sanders missed a relatively easy one earlier, but this is huge. The screen has gone black for me. It's back. Thank goodness. Sanders to make it a 4-point game. The kick from Sanders looks good, and it is 18-14. That is huge. That is massive. Well done, Tamale. We have 20 minutes to go. We've entered the final quarter of the game and of the round, actually. Tamale takes possession under the high ball. Papali'i with half a break here up towards the 20. Can he get a quick play of the ball? Fairly quick for Tamale. Then up to the 30. So we've literally gone back and forth. First try Roosters, then Raiders. Roosters, Raiders, Roosters, then Raiders. Back and forth. Can somebody get two in a row? Can somebody do it? Patty. Bit of space behind the rope. Brought down just short of halfway by Siwa Wong. It's now the 4th tackle for Canberra. Hosking now inside Roosters territory. Great opening set from the kickoff. Great opening set. Already past the 40. Now the last tackle. Short side left to Sanders. He'll just put some height on this. It's going to end up around the 10. Nwangani Tawaze bobbles the ball. Oh, that is a knock on. It did go backwards initially, but he's dropped that. I think that's his first mistake of the game. He had one where he sort of went towards the touchline and was dragged out. I forgave him for that. That's his first proper mistake of the game, but he's been quality. He's allowed one. But the Raiders will get a fresh set 10 metres out after a great opening set from the kickoff. Momentum swinging back towards Canberra. Tackles in opponent's 20. Roosters 7. Raiders 47. Oh my God. At the back of the scrum, left to Sebastian Chris. He's just going to get stopped just in front of the 10. He's going to play it for Owen Patty, left of the sticks. First tackle. Now with Hosking. I think Papali'i wanted that one. Only progress they make is back towards the middle. Patty switches back to Joseph Tarpany. Stop just short of the line. 18 minutes to go. Second tackle. Patty looks left. Then out the back to Sanders on his right. Ethan Strange. Going to engage the line. Going at Sandon Smith. Stop 5 metres out. Now the fourth. Patty. Out the back to Sanders. Hosking. Across to Papali'i. Going to carry the ball himself. Looking for an offload maybe. Stop between the sticks. Here's the last tackle. Huge defence from the Roosters. Can they just keep him out? It's chipped through. Joseph Tarpany first to it. Owen Patty. I think just the defence, I think, was just trying to shoot up a bit too quickly there. If I look back, I think that's what they were trying to do. Just kind of shoot out the line. Oh, Patty. Great work there. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, Patty just had his eyes on him. Just had his eyes on him. They shot out the line. Joseph Tarpany in support. That was really nicely executed, actually. Nicely weighted kick. Came off the foot of Siwa Wong. But that was good. That was really good. We are now level. I'm going to say it's 2018, as that kick should be all good from Sanders. But the Raiders, finally, after everything that's gone on in this game, take the lead for the first time. I did predict it would be close, and it is. The Raiders finally in front. Sanders to make it a 2-point advantage for the Raiders. It is currently 18 all, but I've given the kick as it is right in front of the posts. The kick from Sanders is good. It is 20 points to 18 in favour of the Raiders. 16 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock. The Raiders, of course, on the comeback. The comeback kings. Owen Patty, few great moments. Few big moments here. Who's getting man of the match so far? I don't know. That's tough. Corey Horsburgh back on the field. First carry takes him just over the 10. 16 minutes to go. Patty now with Tarpany. The two front row starters in Tarpany and Horsburgh back on together. Patty. Now Sasangi. Up to the 30. Now the third for Canberra. Hosking through the middle. Kind of switched into more of a front rower role, Hosking, in the second half. Was still over on the right edge. Patty. Now Corey Horsburgh over the 40. So we've now got the last tackle coming up for the Canberra Raiders. Patty will go on his left to Sanders. Engage the line. Hudson Young. Now Chris across to Tamale. Support on the inside. Elects to kick though. Kale Weeks is there. Just can't get to it, but it's going to be batted out by Tedesco. That bounce. Oh, you bugger. You bugger. But that's a rugby ball for you, isn't it? That's a rugby ball for you. I was wondering why he didn't pass the ball inside, but that almost worked out. Oh, that bounce. I think Weeks was ready to drop down to get it. That's the thing. I think we saw him drop just before the bounce. He was thinking he'd dive on it. The Roosters are going to go for the short drop out here. That's a bold move. And it's collected by Kale Weeks on the right hash. Patty comes back towards centre field with Corey Horsburgh. There's going to be a huge end to the game here. Patty on his right to Strange. Switches back to Timoko. Stop just short of the 10. 14 minutes to go in this game. Third tackle for Canberra. Right at the sticks. Patty goes to his left to Tarpany. Pops it up for Hosking. 5 metres out. Between the sticks, Patty. Left to Sanders. Wayward pass. Tamale recovers it near the touchline. Trying to recover it back towards the middle. He's eventually stopped on the 20. So it's now the last. Go Raiders, says Buska. Finally got the lead in this game. Sanders on the last. Kicks just towards the sticks. Some of the kicks from Sanders have not been great, but Horsburgh's in possession. Decent kick through. Putting Tedesco under pressure. He's wrapped up just a few metres short of the line. But it's going to be a penalty for the Roosters. In these kicks from Sanders, like, just from everyone this weekend. Kicking it so it lands on the 10. Like, get it. It needs to go closer to the try line, man. It's a penalty for the Roosters. They could have really been pinned back there. That's a huge penalty, and they'll start a fresh set just in front of their own 30. A tap from Billy Smith. Now Sandon Smith hands it off to Lindsay Collins, who's probably going to see out the final 13 minutes of this game. Tedesco at dummy half hands the ball off to Focchetti. Watson. And Savala will switch back to Steep. Eventually plays the ball for Connor Watson. Focchetti out the back to Sandon Smith. Across to Tedesco. 2-on-1 possibly. Has to cut back towards the middle. Raiders need to get a hold of him because he is shifty. And they do. They stop him on the 30. Now the fourth tackle. Billy Smith scans the line. Bumps into Hudson Young. There's an arm around the neck from Corey Horsburgh. They play it 20 metres out. Last tackle. Just over 12 minutes to go. They engage the line. Dink the ball through. Recovered by Tamale. Under pressure in goal. But he's then stopped. And that's going to be a goal line dropout. So that's a huge penalty that let the Roosters off from being pinned back. And then it's a decent set off the back of it. And they get a repeat set as well. The Raiders go for the long dropout. It's going to be taken on the full by Savala. He's going to hand this off to, I think that's Steep. And he's stopped on the 30. So fresh set of 6 for the Roosters. They're 30 metres out, right of centre field. Watson comes back towards the middle with Sandon Smith, who hands it off to Lindsay Collins. Watson. Focchetti. And the ball comes loose. I didn't see any strips there. That is just going to be a knock-on from Focchetti. Oh my God, yeah. The Roosters have not had a single play of the ball inside the Raiders 20 in this half. That is mad. That is mad. There's a scrum for the Raiders, only 15 metres in front of their own try line. Sanders will feed this ball in. It's out the back. Left to Sebastian Chris, who takes it up to the 20. We now have 10.5 minutes to go in this game. What a game it's been as well. Tamale with the next carry. 3 men in the tackle for the Roosters. It's now the second. Patty on his right to Smithies. A few metres short of the 40. With the third tackle coming up. Patty right to Horsburgh. Over the 40. Big Red shifting. Taking players with him wherever he goes. Up towards halfway. 10 minutes to go. Fourth tackle. Centre field with Tarpany. Looks back towards the right. Offloads to Strange. Sasangi. Then to Timoko. He's going to cut back towards the middle. Almost a bit of space in the middle there. Possible obstruction could have been called. Last tackle inside Roosters territory. Centre field to Sanders. Plenty of height on this. Distance is slightly better as well. Tupou takes it on his own 10. Recovers it up towards the 20. Brought down. He's going to play the ball for Sandon Smith with 9.5 minutes to go. He gives it to Billy Smith. Making a few metres there. Sandon Smith in centre field. On his right to Siwa Wong. Over the 30. Looking for an offload. Doesn't give it. There was a Raiders player there to intercept it. But it's still the Roosters in possession. Angus Crichton down the left edge. Just kind of falls down. Gets a fairly quick play of the ball for Sandon Smith though. Tedesco Had a player in his way. So he's wrapped up. 9 minutes on the clock. Last tackle, just short of halfway. Connor Watson. Right to Savala. Oh, that's an awful kick again. Plenty of height, but barely any distance. Nwangani collects it, but it's batted backwards by the Raiders. And Weeks has possession just in front of his own 30. It's a good field position for the Raiders. A couple of poor kicks from Savala. It's got to be better execution from the Roosters. I understand that Savala's still a rookie, but some of the kicks have got to be better. It's not the first time he's done it in this game or this season. But it's with Smithies now up to halfway. There's still 3 more tackles in this set. Just over 8 minutes to go. Tarpany through centre field, up towards the 40. Can he get an offload? He does not. 4th tackle, centre field. Patty, left to Big Red. Corey Horsburgh, up to the 30. 8 minutes to go. Now the last. Patty, short side left to Sanders. Going to chip this one high. We have a contest. Nwangani is actually just allowed to go up for it. He's stopped on the 10. That's to probably just keep him pinned back there and get themselves set defensively. But Toya up towards the 20. Savala now in centre field with Sanders. Then to Tupou over the 20. Decent carry. 7.5 minutes to go. Connor Watson on his right to Foketi. Now Connor Watson. Steep up towards halfway. So decent carries here from the Roosters. Last tackle, short side right to Savala. Is this kick better? It is a little bit better. Weeks under a bit of pressure. Doesn't see it coming, but skips past Billy Smith. Got a bit of space on the right edge. Kale Weeks, he can move. Gets past one. He's got support left and right. Gone. Goes to his inside. That's the word I was looking for. I can't spake. And that's finally back-to-back tries. I think that is game over now. The Raiders. They should make this 26. So the high ball from Savala. Weeks takes it on the full. Had Billy Smith in his peripherals. Gets around the outside of Angus Crichton. Tupou can't get a hold of him. He had Strange on his inside. I've not been able to say Strange's name correctly or properly today for some reason. I don't know why. But that's going to be currently a 6-point lead. Should be an 8-point lead. And with 6 minutes to go, the Roosters have done some good stuff. And I'm not going to count them out completely just yet. But that might just be the nail in the coffin because momentum has been swinging back towards the Raiders. Fair play. 3 subscribers away from 8.1k. Again, follow me on TikTok. Link in the description, please. I need to get to 10,000 followers on there. Because I'm currently not getting paid from TikTok. Unfortunately. I'm stuck. Strange. It's not even Strange, it's Sanders, because I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Adds the extras. It's now an 8-point lead for the Raiders. 5 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. You'd imagine the Roosters will go with a short kickoff here. Get back underway any second. Well, fair play to Canberra. Like, they've had a bit of bad luck in this game. They haven't really made it work properly offensively, especially for the first half. But they've kind of just been chipping away. You know, some high pressure moments that they've come up clutch. So fair play to the Raiders. And it's important comebacks like this that kind of internally reinforce that they are capable of winning a premiership. I think the Raiders are definitely capable of winning a premiership this year. Well, the Roosters, they went for a short dropout, and there was a contest It's knocked backwards by Savage. And then I think it's recovered by Crichton. So there was a captain's challenge. I think the referee must have said it was knocked on by the Roosters first. It looks like the Roosters will have possession 30 metres out. Look at this recovery from Crichton. Looks good. I think the Roosters will have possession. Successful challenge from the Roosters. They'll have possession 30 metres out with a fresh set. Crichton will play this ball for Sandon Smith over on the left edge. And we'll come back towards the middle with Fekete. What minute? There's 5 minutes to go, Dingle. Just 5 minutes to go. Right to Savala. Then to Steep. Over the 20. Decent carry. If the Roosters score, all hell is going to break loose in these final few minutes. Left to Fekete. 6 again as well for the Roosters. Connor Watson at dummy half. Left of the sticks. Right to Smith. Out the back to Savala. Then Tedesco. Cross to Toya. Wrapped up. 5 metres out. Second tackle. Tedesco. Now it's Savala. Then Radley. Out the back to Smith. Over the top to Tupou. Timoko to beat. Oh, but he cuts back inside. A few Raiders defenders there. 5 metres out. Over near the left touchline. Angus Crichton will flick the ball back. A little bit of tomfoolery there from the Roosters. What game are you playing? That's now with Smith. Right to Radley. Savala. Tedesco. Trying to get around Chris and he can't. Now it's Siwa Wong. Near the touchline. Last tackle coming up for the Roosters. They'll get a few more sets, I think, but they ideally need to score here. Savala will kick cross field. But that's taken in goal by Savage and he can tap on the 20 with not many Roosters players there. Takes it up to the 30. Not what you want. Not what you want, but 3.5 minutes to go. 0 tackle. Now it's Tamale. Well done, Savage, to keep a foot in goal. Wong, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? We finally play it. Through centre field. Up to halfway. Smithies. Up to the 40. Levy. Again, commentators say Levi, but I've got a feeling it's Levy. Left to Corey Horsburgh. He's going to carry this just short of the 20. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Left to Sanders. Young, Chris, bit of room to run. I think he tried to kick the ball through. There was a bit of a mix-up. So the Roosters will have possession on their own 10 with a fresh set. Two minutes 30 left. Roosters going to have a go here. I reckon they get Tedesco out the back. I reckon he'll get a bit of leverage down that left edge. Or Tedesco across to Nwangani-Tawaze. Over the top, that possibly went forwards there. Tupou back towards the middle with Tedesco. Scans the line. Wayward pass slightly, but it's finally collected by Steep. 2 minutes left. Roosters on their own 30. They really need to score on this set. Radley. Hands it off to Fekete. Looking for a quick play of the ball. Gets one for Connor Watson. Off to Sandon Smith on his left. Pops it up. That could have been a break there for the Roosters. Good tackle though. Fourth tackle Watson left to Smith. Then to Angus Crichton. He'd love to get an offload here, but he's wrapped up 30 metres out. It's going to be the last. Smith to Smith. He kicks on the last. Weeks goes up. I think it's knocked backwards. Watson in possession. Radley, they've got the numbers down the right. They just need to make it work. Robert Toyer, almost wrapped up. Can he get the ball? He doesn't need to get the ball out. He's done it himself. He's done it himself. Oh my God, what a game this is. Holy shit, we've got a game. We've had a game for 80 minutes, to be fair. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my God. 26-22 with a kick to come. Oh my God. So the kick from Smith. Weeks knocks on, or it was pushed backwards. Connor Watson in possession. Radley then across to, I think that's Facchetti. Butcher across to Robert Toyer. Not quite wrapped up. But then bumps off a few defenders and puts the ball down. This is going to be squeaky bum time for the Raiders. Well done, Robert Toyer. Off the back of State of Origin debut. Big moment there to keep the Roosters in it with 1:13 on the clock. But Toyer's been doing stuff like this all year. He's been doing stuff like this. Big moments. Just waiting on a try confirmed. Just waiting. Try confirmed. The kick from Sandon Smith is good as well. It's a 2-point game. I did predict a 1-point win for the Raiders as well. A 1-point win. 31-30 is what I went with. Okay. So this is going to be a long kickoff from the Raiders. And in this set, the Roosters are about to go hell for leather. All hell is about to break loose. A minute 7 on the clock. We're back underway. What you got, Sydney? What you got? Oof. Could have been a knock-on already from Tedesco. But Steep is brought down on the 10. Connor Watson in centre field. Left to Smith. Now with Angus Crichton. He could do with a few offloads in this set. Connor Watson just left of centre field. Short of the 20. Now with Radley. Either back to Savala. Then Tedesco. Then Toyer. Gets around Sanders, but just stopped by Chris. Wants a quick play of the ball. Nwangani-Tawaze. Now it's Savala. Then Radley. Takes the carry over the 40. 30 seconds left, but the ball comes loose. That is going to be it. Good effort from the Roosters. Great effort from both sides. What a game this has been. What a game. But a mistake from the Roosters at the end. This will mean the Bulldogs still have 2 games in hand and the 2 points ahead in the top spot. But the Raiders in second place, that's going to be full time. I said this would be game of the week. It did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. Holy shit, what a game that was. Ladies and gentlemen. Sydney Roosters 24, Canberra Raiders 26. There was somebody and commented on my predictions video before, said that I was wrong of all games today. I was actually right of all games today, so let's just comment real quickly. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this stream. just to let you know, I'm 3 subscribers away from 8.1k. If you can get me there, that'd be great. But follow me on TikTok, link is in the description. If you'd like to join the Kinetic Rugby League Discord, the invite link is also in the description. But folks, thank you so much for stopping by. I will be streaming the Challenge Cup final next week. Warrington Wolves versus Hull Kingston Rovers. I'm a Warrington Wolves fan, by the way. So I'll be in my wire shirt. Repping my team, ready to go. And, yeah. Looking forward to that one. And I'll possibly try and get in a few NRL games as well. But we will see. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. This is greatly appreciated. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.